Hey, my friends, how do you overcome the fear of rejection? Well, it's kind of funny because it's an illusion. Most times when people are in this place, they're in this mindset that they want to eliminate as much as possible the rejections that could occur in their life, and something that hasn't yet happened. And there's one clear path for that. I'll give it to you. Don't put yourself out there. Now, you know as much as I that that's a horrible strategy because it's just not living the life as great as you could live. Obviously not focusing on the people that you could help with your message, with your mission, with the way that you can communicate to the world. And so what I've discovered is it's not so much about trying to eliminate rejection, it's actually the opposite. It's trying to experience more of it. It's wild, but I'm going to give you some of the tips that I've used in my life and I've had to return to from at many points in my life, but they're impactful. Number one is nobody's ever rejected you. I'll repeat that, nobody's ever rejected you. All they've ever rejected is your approach. And perhaps it's the topic you discuss, maybe it's the way you communicate, maybe it's the emotions you're transferring. Now, obviously, when a person's negative, we don't want to be around them. We're not necessarily rejecting the person, we're rejecting those emotions. You and I have both been in that place where we've been a little bit grumpy. Obviously, people don't want to be around us in those moments. And so that's awesome because it's feedback. It gives us opportunity to craft and cultivate our message in such a way that we can impact the world in the way that we truly wish. You see, that feedback is a result, whether it be acceptance or rejection. And so using that, we can cultivate, refine the way we say things, the things that we say, or even the select group that we speak to, or the emotion that we're engaged in when we speak. It's the way we can improve. So when you feel rejection, really you're just feeling somebody rejecting the approach that you had. And it gives us an opportunity to change approach, because you can change your approach infinite amount of times. So be grateful for that. And that's in fact number two, be grateful for the fact that you can be rejected. Because not many people are actually willing to put themselves out there. For you to have that courage to step into the arena, it separates you from the critic that's in the stand. The willingness to put yourself out there. I make these messages because I want to help people in all parts of the planet. And in so doing, sometimes I market that message to new audiences in order to find my unique tribe, the people that I connect with. And well, sometimes it's going to land in the newsfeed of a person that just is not about it. And guess what? As opposed to lowering my voice, to reducing my message down to a smaller group, I'm going to speak louder. I'm glad it got into the position that it could get rejected. Why? Because it means that I'm not silent. And so it is in all areas of our lives. For that man to walk up to that particular woman and get rejected by her, it means he's not one of the many who sit there and wish, who then go back home and regret. And in order to remove that regret, they rationalize. Rejection is far better than regret and rationalization. And here's the other thing. We need to be very careful not to focus on those people that could potentially reject us, which is oftentimes the mind trying to generate fear such that we don't go down the path that could be fearful but could really impact not just our lives, but the many lives of the people that are all around us. We have to be very careful not to listen to that fear of rejection, right? Because that fear of rejection will keep you into the limited state, assuming that everybody's out there to reject you. Not actually that many. I'm going to overinflate the numbers. I'm going to overinflate the numbers for the purpose of this discussion. Let's say that you have something that you can teach people, and you really want to go out there and you want to make a business out of this, and let's say there's 100 people in a room, and 10% of those people are not going to like what you have to say. What you have to say isn't going to hurt them in any way, but they're not about it. Is it worth doing it if it's going to help 90 people? If it's going to completely transform the lives of 90 people? I think so. And in fact, here's the other thing. And this is where it comes back to what I said at the beginning. Let's embrace rejection. In fact, let's love it. In fact, let's go more than that. Let's try to get rejected even more. If we were to increase our message, if we were to increase that room from 100 to 1,000 and keeping 10%, well, now it's not just 10 people that aren't going to like what we have to say. It's 100. Far better to have 100 people reject you than 10, because it means that you are actually growing, expanding. And the power of your voice is one that carries so much further that you can have 100 people not liking what you have to say. but stop focusing on the 100 people and start focusing on the 900 that you're impacting in a positive way, such that your message can impact their lives and improve their lives and make their lives much better in terms of their wealth and their emotions and their relationships, whatever it is that's your calling for helping these people. And finally, it's a filter. I'm not speaking to that 10%. I'm glad I put myself out there. I'm glad that person has the opportunity to whether accept me or reject me. But in essence, the topic, the message, the way that I speak, the things that I say, I'm trying to filter for that particular group that connects and resonates with my particular way of speaking, the things that I speak about, and the emotion that I carry. Why? Because they're most like me. I'm trying to find my tribe by speaking out and saying, hey, who else has the same call? It's Antoine de Saint-Exupéry that once said, sometimes we have to endure the caterpillars in order to be associated with the butterflies. And so today, I encourage you to go out there and get rejected. Don't worry about the 10%. Get out there, get rejected. Remember, it's not you that's rejected, it's just your approach. And you have a mission. You deserve to put it out there and help people in the process. Love you, and I'll see you in the next video.